Changed my life at the start believing.
Although the butterfly and the caterpillar are completely different, they are one and the same.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Quinelle, back with another lit video. You already know what's going on. So that being said, like, comment, subscribe, also hit that notification bell. I'm doing these reactions early in the morning, so yeah, I'm about to react to ups and downs from SmackDown. So what was the good parts of SmackDown and the downside of SmackDown? SmackDown, let's get into it, y'all. I don't got nothing to say, but let's react to this and see what they got to say about the ups and the downs from SmackDown.
Okay, so all the people that don't watch Impact Ups and Downs, yes, me, Simon Miller, had to go on my travels for the last few days, and then all of my equipment broke, but I still had my camera, and I still had me. Obviously, I wasn't abducted by aliens, so we are still bringing you ups and downs.
And by the way, their video will be down below in the description.
Like a weird ups and downs, but normal service
All
will
right, ups
resume
and downs from
next week.
SmackDown. SmackDown is better than Raw.
Now officially an attempted child killer, and on top of that too, you may be looking at my arms going, Simon, you look really
He's
burnt.
not a child killer. Dominic is not a child. He's Rey Mysterio's child, but he's not a child no more.
And it wasn't sunburn. Roman Reigns has decided that I didn't acknowledge him well enough on last week's episode of Ups and Downs, so he came around my house and he beat me up so bad, this is now what I look like. So we all gotta be beware of him, especially Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso, he gonna die. But for the time being, my name is Simon Miller. Welcome to Wrestling. Welcome to Ups and Downs for SmackDown. Let's take the finger of power and up those downs for the show that just came out of my mouth.
That man be talking fast to hell. He be like, ups and downs. I don't know what he just said, but we gonna get into it. Ups and downs from SmackDown. Ups and downs, SmackDown.
Right, so somebody better go and talk to WWE's graphic design department, because Roman Reigns was the first person out on this week's episode of SmackDown, and in its entrance graphic, it said head of the table, but it said head of the table in inverted commas, like, whatever, head of the table. If he sees that person that made it, he will find you and he'll rip your arms off. As ever though, Roman and Paul Heyman were absolutely tremendous here, and they have decided over the last week, it's a great thing that the Usos have a tag team title shot. He's really rooting for them, as long as they win. That was his one big proviso too, and while he was pretending to be happy, his face looked like he was about to explode. And during all this, from nowhere, Pat McAfee just went, man, that Roman Reigns, he is so devilishly handsome. And that made me laugh, because it's like Pat has been sat on this for weeks and finally went, damn it, now is the time. At this point, the Usos did come out, and while Jay was all like, oh, Roman Reigns, we love you, and acknowledged him.
So yeah, the first part of SmackDown was alright. It was cool.
Like, nah, Oos, I'm not gonna do that. I kind of felt like I did that back in Hell in a Cell 2020, so I'm not gonna do it again. I was like, Jim, you do not understand the rules. They then had this massive back and forth about whether they were gonna win the championships, and I tell you, this whole story, this whole narrative, the characterization, it is truly, truly brilliant. So when we are talking about WWE, don't go WWE is crap right now just because Raw is utterly lost. SmackDown is brilliant and is getting it up.
Yeah, SmackDown is better than Raw overall. You feel me? I can sit there and watch SmackDown more than Raw. Like, Raw is just background noise, or whatever. But yeah, I did like the first part of SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like the promo with Roman and stuff like that.
Also, think about the gravity that just got added to this contest. Either the Usos win or we see death. We weren't waiting for the main event either, because we went straight into the Usos taking on Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, and I had like the cops on speed dial just in case. But this was so much damn fun. My only worry, as
that
it
match was
last
good.
week, is that
I liked
couldn't
that
figure
match,
out what WWE was
that
going to do.
match was
because
good, y'all. Comment down below if you didn't think so, but I think so. That match was good.
Usos lose, or so I thought.
But I don't know what happened.
Thankfully though, because we do have this Roman Reigns storyline, it gave WWE an out, so to speak. And they used it very well. The Usos were winning up until Dominic started to fight back, so that boy is coming of age. And by the time Rey Mysterio got in there, it was actually him that got beaten down. So I bet his son was like, Dad, you taught me so much, but now I've got to show you how it's done. There was this tremendous bit where Daddy went for the big splash over the bottom rope, but Jey Uso grabbed him and gave him a Samoan drop on the table. And the Usos just did everything they could to stop Rey making the whole
Why Rey look like
that? As we always say, it is a pro wrestling match. At one point, Rey Mysterio did like this Matrix dodge, and then he booted one of the Usos in the face, He did get it, and Tommy Boy ran wild. He was able to smash out his tornado DDT, but that didn't last long, because Jimmy Uso was then beating him up, and he went for his big
Dominic
splash,
is 20.
but Dom got the knees up.
Y'all calling this a little boy? He older than me. I'm 21. Dominic is 24. Come on. He's 24.
All of a sudden it came to Dominic as well. Wait a minute, let me remember
But I get
what
it.
I have been taught.
The Rey Mysterio, his dad.
Oh, use most devastating move and the sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. And the referee went 1, and the referee went 2, and then the referee went 3. And I felt both joy and fear run through my body. And I also lost my shit because I couldn't believe it. We had just seen a tag team title contest that ended with no shenanigans, or at least almost. Because as it did turn out, when we saw the slow motion replay, Jimmy had actually gotten his shoulder off the mat. But once more, WWE was using this to extend the narrative. And why do I watch wrestling? For flipping stories. It then did get really bad really quick because Roman found the Usos and he started shouting at them, "I can't believe you lost to a child." Once again, I was sat there.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. You know what I'm saying? Watching Friday Night SmackDown, Roman was like, "Why? Like y'all lost to a child? This is not a child, y'all." That's why you lost thinking this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not a child. He's 24. 24! Is that a child? I thought a child was 17 and under. It's not a child. They make it seem like Dominic is like 18, 19, early, like right there. He 24.
Their sofa, and I was just chuckling away. He was so damn angry.
Oh yeah, Roman was
the
mad
idea
as
that
hell.
Roman probably thinks that Dominic Mysterio is actually 8 years old, and he told both of them, "You go find Adam Pearce, you go find Sonya Deville, and you make this right." And then, if you can believe it, he called Jey Uso Jimmy, and Jey was like, "I'm Jey Uso," and Roman went, "What does it matter?" And much like Ralph Wiggum, that time he went on a date with Lisa Simpson, you just saw this poor man break. So this was just absolute fire. This was just top stuff, and it was so good. If someone
I
said,
just
"Hey,
wonder
son,
where
wanna
this
watch pro
storyline
wrestling?" I'd be
going.
like,
Is
"Sit
we
your
gonna
ass
get a
down
Hell in a
here
Cell match
and let's
between
watch some
Jimmy?
SmackDown." It turns out that this week's episode of SmackDown was a bit like Sesame Street 2 because it had a theme, namely laughter. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth Rollins. Because firstly, he was dressed like some kind of garden in the sky, but he's
Seth
also...
Rollins' outfit's been looking really good lately, y'all. I mean, it been looking good, like with the suits and stuff like that. This segment wasn't nothing because
like,
he just
Braxton
laughed
was
at
saying, "Hey, you
Kayla.
beat up Cesaro," but he's come back from this before, and Seth was just getting madder and madder and madder every time he heard the Swiss Superman's name. Rollins eventually took this as such an insult, he unclipped his mic and he just threw it at Kayla, and for some reason, that made me laugh, tying into the theme of this week's episode. Some
Yeah,
people
that was
don't like
funny
this
too.
iteration of Seth
I ain't
Rollins,
gonna lie, that
and
was
I
funny.
do not understand it at all. Every time I'm like, God, it's just absolutely nuts, and I enjoy him up. Chad Gable was then trying to recruit the Street Profits and saying they're absolutely rubbish as a tag team, so they should come to the Alpha Academy. And they went, "No, we don't want to do that," which I was actually quite disappointed with. I thought that would be quite a nice story arc. But you know how they responded to Mr. Gable? They chuckled away. And what did I say the theme of this show was? The Usos right after this did indeed find Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, and they all agreed, "Oh, you're right, you did get screwed over." So in a very rare moment in WWE, our last match is going to be the same as our first match, as we're going to run the title challenge back, and we're just going to do it again. Obviously, my eyebrow went flying up, because you just knew something was going to happen. I just did not expect this. However, Carmella then just beat Liv Morgan down. Now, this was good for what it was.
Oh,
There was
everything. That's what. Listen. Yeah. All right. So SmackDown started off cool. Whatever. Cool. Roman Reigns. I love Roman. Anything he does, and I like the stuff he doing with Jay and Jimmy. All right. So we get to the women. We see a singles match between Carmella and Liv. Liv Morgan lost to Carmella.
Nothing wrong with the wrestling match. I thought the two had quite good chemistry. But it came out of nowhere, and within 2 minutes, Carmella just locked in the code of silence. Liv Morgan tapped out, and I was like, what the hell was that? I mean, there was more promo time here than there was actual
Right, like,
wrestling.
y'all couldn't give them more time, Liv more time. Liv, to me, did better than Carmella in that match, but they did have chemistry a little in that match. But Liv Morgan is like, I just can't explain it. She's talented in a way, and I just want to see her like grow. I just can't.
Time. And that would have been fine if we had some sort of an angle, but we had nothing. Beforehand, Carmella said, oh, I'm the most beautiful woman in WWE. And then Liv Morgan went, man, you're about 7 out of 10, which I did think was a good line. Why every time do we re-debut Liv Morgan, which we have done a lot, does she always lose? I mean, it is literally on every occasion. Afterwards, Carmella...
Yeah, that pissed me off, to be honest. Like, Liv promo in the beginning was really kind of good. No, when she responded to Carmella, when Carmella said she was, like, the prettiest woman, like, whatever. And Liv said, you was 7 at best. I thought that was really cool, what she said. Like, I liked it that. But why every time Liv gotta lose? I'm tired of that. She needed this win. She really did. And then, like, when she lost, then you start thinking about Ruby. So this really pissed me off. Like, it did. I'm not gonna lie.
To call her the most beautiful woman in WWE, I was like, you can't make that statement, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I don't really know how that ties in. The Mysterios were then shown leaving the building, so they're crap at their jobs. SmackDown hadn't even finished. They're like, oh, we're done. We're just going to go home. When they were found by Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, who said, look, really sorry, friends and family. We need you to put your gear back on because you're going to have another match. And because they are good guys and because they're heroes, they said yes. And I tell you this, they were massively going to regret it. No word of a lie either. Bianca Belair then cut a promo on Bayley because she thinks that Bayley is laughing too much. I tell you, Sesame Street. It turns out that cackle the role model has been doing has now gotten to Bianca Belair because she feels disrespected, so now she does want a match at the pay-per-view. Then from nowhere we started hearing and we cut to Bayley, who was sat in the back, and yes, of course, she was actually laughing. She accepted this challenge, of course, and then continued to go to the point all of a sudden her face appeared on every single one of the LED boards around the ring. And while I like these two, and while I'm very happy they're going to have another match, just had a little of issues with it. Because one, I don't think it should have been Bianca laying down the challenge because he is the champion and she kind of beat Bayley at the last pay-per-view, so why would she care? And also, two, once more, if you did have to explain this to a non-wrestling fan, you would say, well, they're feuding because somebody kept laughing a lot. So these two don't need it. They absolutely rock. You could have built it around, well, who's the better wrestler? But we didn't. That's why it's got to get it down. Owens then found the street.
Okay, given that, it's like, who is Bianca gonna face, bro? Like, literally, like, Bayley, they keep dragging this out because eventually Sasha Banks are returning Sasha Banks. See, they can end this off at Hell in a Cell because Bianca Belair and Bayley gonna face each other at Hell in a Cell. Bianca can either feud with somebody like that debuts on the main roster, EO, Mia Yim. She can have Liv Morgan. She can in between that, she can do somebody like feud with somebody else other than Bayley. But like, I understand like Bianca Belair is upset because Bayley laughing when her character is basically, I don't give a fuck, basically. That's how her gimmick is. I'm a shine now. Watch me shine now. I don't care what nobody think. I never needed you at all. Basically, that's how she is. Like, but I feel like this is just a filler. They gotta do something, bro. So with Bayley and Bianca, I don't mind seeing the Hell in a Cell match. I think it's gonna be okay. It was gonna be cool. But after that, I really want to see her face somebody else. Find somebody else. But I feel like they're just dragging it along just to wait for Sasha to come back.
He didn't appreciate that they had been mean to his friend, and then when they were basically mean to him, he beat up Montez Ford and he beat up Angelo Dawkins. I quite like bad guy
Otis.
I do think
calm it down, Otis.
And he needs more skits like this.
Don't be touching Montez.
SmackDown followed this up with Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke
boys.
Nakamura, and once again Rick Boogs was just rocking out to his entrance theme. And I'm not 100% sure what happened here, unless somebody in the back looked at their watch and went, oh crap man, we're running out of time, we better hit fast forward. And that was a massive problem for me because I was really excited about this. I think the feud so
and it's
far
ironic
has been great.
Two of the
There were about 2
downs is
minutes.
from the women
Baron
division.
Corbin smashed
Crazy.
Rick Boogs
And
with a
that's the
close on
only two
outside.
segments we saw
He
for
then
the
got
women.
back in the ring and used the most devastating move in
That's what I be
sports
talking
entertainment
about.
surprise roll-up to pin Shinsuke Nakamura. And then he got his crown, he put him on his head, and because WWE wanted to attribute more times to other things they had on the card, such as Apollo Crews taking on Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental title, this was very enjoyable. Apollo Crews has just absolutely embraced this role, and he was shown
Okay, so we got
laughing
4 ups,
at all
3
the
downs.
damage that General Aziz had done to Kevin Owens last week, but that was important.
All right,
So when Kevin Owens came to the ring, he was all hobbled. And what happens when someone does something off the top? I felt like it was my birthday while
Yeah,
shouting,
that match was
karma,
cool.
karma, I hate down, and then to be, because it was all about the finish, so we may as well just zoom there. Because it actually seemed like...
I ain't gonna lie, I actually enjoyed SmackDown on Friday though. Like, there's certain parts that I could, but the women division, like, that Carmella and Liv made me mad, but... You know what I'm saying? Even though, like, the Bayley and Bianca, when you take a look at it and stuff like that, it is what it is. And I thought the segment was funny when Bayley had all the little, her face on, like, all the little, y'all know what I'm talking about, when she had her face laughing on all the little screens. That was funny, but, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, this was the last match of the night.
And even worse,
and Roman
from a Roman Reigns
attacking.
perspective, it was Dominic Mysterio who looked like he was also going to pick up the win for the second time. So just as he was going for his frog splash, our tribal chief appeared from nowhere. He hit Dominic Mysterio.
Hey, they had came through.
And as I alluded to
in
at
a
the start of this
set,
video,
he went
essentially tried to
crazy.
murder a child. He did all this too while being
That's
furious.
not a child. Y'all keep saying Dominic is a child. He's the Rey Mysterio child. But that's why y'all, like, don't underestimate him. That's why Roman beat his ass. You look at, he's 24. 24. He was a child when that paternity stuff was going on with Eddie and Mysterio back in the day. He's grown up now.
That his cousins saying they were a waste of
That
space.
is not a
and then he got
child.
the steel stairs. And he chucked them into Dominic's face. And if Dominic's
He's a Rey
skin had
Mysterio
just fallen off his
child.
skull
Of course he
and rolled
is,
up on
but
the floor,
to y'all, he's not a little
that's not
child,
that
man.
surprising. I mean, the force that Roman used. He then did the same to Rey Mysterio because Rey was like, "Oh no, somebody's trying to murder my son."
Eventually, the Usos
Honestly, if
are
you thought
going
wrestling was
to
real, you would ring the police.
get them titles.
This was just unbelievable. I mean, even Jimmy Uso thought
So
this. He got
5
out of the
ups
ring
and
saying,
4
"Roman,
downs.
You've got to stop, and if you're not,
We got
I'm not being
5
any part
ups
of
and
this.
4
I'm not being
downs.
dragged to jail." And he told Jey Uso
At least
to
it
come
was
with
better
him,
than Raw.
But Roman told him to stay.
All I gotta
And
say.
poor Jey Uso. He had another breakdown in the middle of the ring. He didn't know what the flub to do. This didn't mean that SmackDown ended with Roman Reigns just punching a child right in the face. But if this is building to Roman Reigns versus
Why
Rey
they keep
Mysterio
calling
for the
him a
Universal
child?
Championship, where's
Punching
the piece
this
of paper?
child.
You better let me sign up. You can even have the stipulation be, "I can't believe you tried to kill."
Alright, y'all, so basically, I'm done reacting to that. I know this reaction was kind of long, but it was the ups and downs from SmackDown. Like I said, you know what I'm saying, SmackDown was okay. It was better than Raw. It was better than Raw. I'm kind of stressed out with WWE and everything going on with the releases, and also, like, I don't know what's going to happen with the selling and stuff like that. That's still on the brain. That's still on the mind. But my reaction cut off before I could end the video a little bit, but I was already at the end of it or whatever. So, like, the stuff with Roman Reigns was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, and y'all, I love Roman character right now. Also, like, with the women division, like, when Carmella beat Liv Morgan, I did not like that because I felt like Liv Morgan little thing when she said you a 7 at best, when Carmella said I'm the beautiful woman in the division. She said something like that. And Liv said you a 7 at best. That was kind of cool. So Liv Morgan, everything that went on with Liv Morgan and the Riot Squad, they broke up. I really wanted Liv to get the win because, you know, she has been on the losing streak, and I wanted her to pick up the win, but they let Carmella win. And Liv Morgan, to me, did better than Carmella in that match on everything, but I don't know what they're going to do with Liv. Hopefully it's cool. So Bianca Belair challenged Bayley at Hell in a Cell, and that's coming up. A lot of people don't care about it, but who is Bianca going to face? They dragging this on. I feel like they wait on Sasha Banks to come back. Sasha Banks coming back July 16th when the fans come back. So that being said, it is what it is, bro. Comment down below if you like SmackDown. And just comment down below whatever you want to comment down below. And I'll be on to the next video. But yeah, I'm out. Peace.